Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot topics. Speaking of, I forgot to put on my Dear Deidre shirt, but that don't even matter. We can get into the healing segment of my channel and read this Dear Deidre letter. Let's get it going. Dear Deidre, being that we're 40 plus years old, I feel like you can help me with this situation. I met these girls in high school and we instantly became best friends. They're sisters. So you know if I'm over 40 and I'm telling you I've been friends with these sisters since high school, that we have a significant amount of time together. Well, they have a younger sister who's always in some shit. I've known her since she was a little girl. Anyway, one time when I was by the family house for a barbecue, the little sister stole some money out my pocketbook. And when I told the older sister, who I'm friends with, at first they tried to act like she would never do that. Then when it was proven she did, they basically was on some, well, you have to take the L because there's nothing they can do because she's their sister and they feel as though I shouldn't do anything because I'm their friend. So that let me know these people don't fuck with me, so I cut them off. No animosity, I just don't F with them anymore. Anyway, their mom is friends with some family members of mine on Facebook, and every time something is posted about me, this old bitch always saying some weird, funny-ish. I ignored the Facebook antics, but one time I saw her in person at the supermarket and she did some weird ish as well. I'll be attending an event this week where I'll see this old man again. I'll actually have to engage with her. I promise you, I don't want to disrespect this lady, but I'm not in the mood for her antics or to be embarrassed. Let me know how you think I should handle this, please and thank you. Signed, if she keep being shady, I'ma smack this old lady. Well, alrighty then, right? Let me take a sip of my water. You guys should be happy for me. I have officially passed the halfway mark. I am now 32 days of my 60 on my 60-day cleanse of no alcohol, no red meat, and no caffeine. Feels good. Okay. Let's get into this, dear DJ. Woo, child. All right. Let me start off by saying I'm so sorry that this young lady stole from you. Because it sounds like with the stealing piece, it kind of, well, not it kind of, it actually was the dissolution of the entire friendship. And like you said, if you're in your 40s and you've known these young ladies since high school, that's probably well over 20 years of friendship. And it seems like good friendship because you didn't let on that you and these young ladies have been having mishaps and so on and so forth. It sounds like this is the mishap that broke y'all up. So, wow, that makes me sad. I'm sorry to hear that, and I pray that there will come a time that you guys can move forward and get past this, right? First of all, let me say I want to commend you also for not being disrespectful to the older woman, even though it seems like she may not have that same level of class, to be able to keep it together herself, which is unfortunate. But I want to ask some questions. You've been around, this is what I would be asking you in the Operation Hill 100 Heart session. You've been around this woman, I'm guessing, 20 plus years since you've been friends with her daughter. Are you sure this is what's taking place, or are you just a little bit sensitive about the fact that you and her daughter are no longer friends and you may just feel like she's not moving with you how she used to because you're no longer her daughter's friends? So I probably would be asking you to get a tad bit more specific in what the woman is doing that you deem as weird and corny, because it could also be that maybe her behaviors have shifted because you're no longer my daughter's friend. So because of that, I probably can't be sweet and nice and generous like I used to, because that probably came with the role of you being friends with my daughters, and you're not friends with them anymore, and you're also making accusations against another one of my other daughters. So I probably can't be the sweet and loving and nice mother of your friends that I used to be, because you're no longer friends with my daughters. Right? So I would be asking you in a one-on-one session to please go into specifics about some of the things she did versus some of the things she did some of the things she did after you and the young ladies weren't friends no more, and then some of the things that she used to do when you were friends. Because that's pretty much how you would draw the correlation for me. It would be like, oh, before when me and her daughters was friends, she would called me for Christmas, right? Now, since we're no longer friends no more, I never hear from the woman. Like I just use that as an example, but I would need some background information on how the energy shifted so I can make sure that you're not being sensitive and this is really happening, right? Secondly, don't smack no old lady. Don't smack no old lady. And I'm going to say this, no shade, but especially since you ain't smack a little bitch I stole from you, I don't think it would be best to smack no old lady, right? You can't be picking and choosing around here, right? So definitely don't get into no physical altercation, and don't even get into a verbal one. Don't even get into a verbal one because, sometimes when people get in their feelings about things, case in point, she may be in her feelings because you don't hang out with her daughters no more and then you made an accusation against her third daughter. So, she may definitely be in her feelings about that and you'll get to see certain behaviors. I know for me, what has worked for me in the past, as a matter of fact, I do have a friend. And me and this friend, me and her sister didn't get along, and me and her mom was cool, but then her mom started to do little weird things after a few drinks that let me know she was aware that me and one of her daughters weren't cool. Now, granted, I have my own mom, right, that I could have gotten to address the situation because this woman is old enough to be my mother's, to be friends with my mother. She's my mother's age. But I felt like I owed the young lady I was friends with, her other daughter, the courtesy of saying, hey, I just want to make you aware that I'm feeling boom, 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 boom. I know with you don't have that same leverage because you're not friends with either one of the sisters anymore. What I would have to ask is, how did you guys go about, dissolving the friendship? Because it's one thing to be like, I don't speak to them, but I can be cordial enough to let them know what's going on. And it's another thing to be like, I'm never speaking to them bitches again. Right? So that's my next set of questions. It would be like, okay, well, how did you guys come to the dissolution of the friendship? Was it you just stopped speaking to them one day? Or did you guys have a talk and decide this would be best? Or did you have an argument and you was about to fight? Where was the dissolution at and how did it take place? Right? So I would be asking that. Now, I just gave you 3 scenarios. If it took place where you just stopped speaking to them, you could call them and share this with them, but 9 times out of 10, when you just stop speaking to people, they don't want to hear from you either because you just cut them off. So I don't know if that will work well in your favor. If you guys just agree to disagree and separate and stop being friends that way, then I think you do have the leverage to be like, listen, I know that we don't hang out no more, but remember when we ended this, there was no ill feelings, and that's with, your mom as well, and I'm getting the vibe that she might have some ill feelings towards me, so can you guys have that conversation? If it's open enough to have that dialogue, right? And then the third thing is if you guys was about to fight and that's how it ended, then yeah, there's no reason to call them because they're already off your ass. And 9 times out of 10, they don't care if the mama is off you because they off you. So, if those things are the case, right? Like say case in point, they are off you, then I think you're going to have to put on your big girl panties and address the mom directly. Now, I know you said that this week or next week or something like that, you and her are going to be at an event together. My suggestion would be to try to address mom or have some dialogue with mom prior to the event. Because if the dialogue goes south, excuse me guys, if the dialogue goes south, then you would know how to deal with mom at the event. And if the dialogue goes well and you guys have rehashed whatever you needed to or agreed to disagree, whatever the case may be, you both would know how to maneuver around each other at the event. But if you try to have the dialogue there and emotions seep out all over the place, that might be the downfall of the event. Or she may not even want to give you the courtesy of having that conversation, and that's going to make you feel away, and you guys are at a function from what I understand. So you don't want to be all up in your feelings when you're supposed to be there handling business from what it sounds like, right? So if you do not want to say to the daughters, is it okay? I know that you said that there's some family members who still have her on Facebook or social media, so is it okay for, geez, what about you order from? Is it okay for you to reach out to on one of those platforms and say, hey, Miss So-and-so, you got a few minutes so I can speak to you? and just basically sharing how you may feel. I've encountered you a few times and I've seen a few things, and I know I went through X, Y, and Z with your daughter, and you're old enough to be my great grandmother, bitch. So no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but you're older, and I don't want you to think that my intention is to ever be disrespectful to you, but I also don't want to feel disrespected by you. So I'm just trying to figure out like how we can maneuver this thing to where you know that I'm not trying to have an issue with you, and it doesn't sound like you're trying to have an issue with our daughters either. You're just trying to move on amicably, right? So I think you would probably have to address mom directly, like, hey, can I talk to you? You know, another option is to, you know, wait a seriously. Why am I yawning? Where are the elders in your family? Is your mom around? Is she the type of person to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you don't know if their mom will feel like you're being disrespectful, even bringing it to the forefront with her. And you, like you said, your goal is not to disrespect this woman. So no, no, no. I think that it's okay to say to the elder in your family, your mom, your aunt, somebody that could kind of be like, how you doing, Janice? Let me talk to you because my kid or my niece or whoever it is feeling away, and I want to make sure because I know we on the same level. You good? You know what I mean? And I think woman to woman, elder to elder, that can come together really easily because listen, I ain't got you ain't got to go back forth from no older woman. Not when you have folks surrounding you that can address that and you can still maintain your stance and what you need to do. I think it's unfortunate that the mom is being weird towards you because at a point you were her daughter's friends, and also too what it seemed like happened, it happened to you. So it's not like one of them up in the air situations where no, you could be right and they could be right too. No, if the daughter stole from you and that's a guaranteed fact, it's no way that I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong because I showed up at your event. That's not fair. I was invited, I'm assuming. Right? So I think that that's what you need to do is say, hey, Aunt Sharon, you can help me because Miss Daisy over here, Miss Janice Daisy, she seems as though there might be some issues regarding she and I'm just trying to do what I need to do. I don't want to have issues with an elderly person. So if you could just figure out what's going on, and again, we want this conversation to be productive. So whoever you ask, if you're willing to ask an elder in your family, make sure they know how to conduct the mature, productive conversations. Because you do not want to come back to like, I had to bang that bitch with my cane. Hold on, Hollywood. I ain't send you over there for that. You know what I'm saying? So, make sure whoever you get involved with this, if you so choose to, they understand that the goal is not to be arguing and fussing and fighting, but the goal is to say, y'all need to move on. The same way you and her daughters did, y'all need to. Seriously? I don't know what's making me yawn. Maybe I gotta put my glasses back on because I'm not tired. What time is it? It's 2:51 in the afternoon. I'm not tired on a Sunday. It's going up on a Sunday, and I have to go live at 6. Anywho, back to the letter. So yes, like I said, you can basically either hit the sisters up and say, hey, can we talk? Or you can address Mama Love directly and say, hey, boo, is there a way that me and you, Miss Janice, could kind of figure out what's going on here? Or you can say, hey, auntie, hey, ma, hey, grandma, whoever you feel would be the best fit that can really, really have some productive dialogue. Because like you said, I'm not trying to beef with this old lady. I'm not trying to cause her to beef with nobody else. I just want her to leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I would love to hear the specifics from you about what she's doing, because in any event, it could be that you're just being sensitive because the treatment has switched up because you're no longer her daughter's friends. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. Do I necessarily agree with it? No, not always, but sometimes it happens. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just go with the flow and make it work for you, but you definitely want the situation to be squared away. So I would definitely need to know the specifics. What happened? What did she say? What did the other person say on the status that caused her to, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, we all as women, we could get in our feelings. We can definitely get in our feelings about things and say, oh, we felt that we felt it. It looked like it. It looked like this is embarrassing. No, your letter's not boring me, my dear. I just really don't understand why I'm using them. But and when you in your feelings, you can't think properly. So I want you to be able to be like, hey, is everything good? Is everything okay? What you cannot do is smack the lady, because that's not going to work for you or anybody else involved. Let me say this. Let's just say the situation had no way of being resolved until you actually saw the lady at the event. Let's just say that happens. If that is the case, right? If that is the case, let's just say you don't get a chance to have the dialogue with the woman, and now here, boom, we're at the function. Whatever you need to do with her, where you have to engage in, you do so respectfully, right? You do so respectfully. And what I will say is this: if it looks like it's going in the direction of being disrespectful, then you disengage. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to say, listen, we do have to be around each other in this small space, but I don't have to engage you. And you definitely don't have to if you're going to be feeling disrespected. So if you are at the event and you guys haven't had a chance to have a preliminary conversation, no problem. You engage her as politely and as respectfully as you would any other elder. The same way you would when you was friends with her daughter. Her daughters, I'm sorry. Oh my God, this earring. So that could work. And then after you do that, you let the chips fall where they may. You let the chips fall where they may, because you don't ever want to be known as the disrespectful younger person, and you definitely don't want it to be where you used to be friends with people and now that we're not friends, I think certain behaviors is okay that can offend you. Nah, we just not friends no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to have a problem with your mother, and you know what I'm saying? We're just not friends no more. So I think it's a way that, you can get that message across without upsetting the elderly woman. And if you can't, where is the elders in your family to get it right, get it tight, and get an information? Right? So once again, let's run down the steps. So you have a swing of it. You got the swing of it, right? Initially, if you are in the space, you hit up the sisters. Hit up the sisters and hit up both of them, because one may feel one way and the other may feel another. So if you hit up both, you can get what the temperature is. Getting the temperature will let you know if they know what their mother is doing and they damn proud of it, or they embarrassed like, Ma, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So if you can and you see that being an option, you hit up the sisters and you keep it real. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I always liked your mother. I never did anything to her per se. I actually never did anything to you guys. Something was stolen from me, and I want to move forward and be okay. And I don't want your mom to think that because I'm not friends with you guys that I won't be respectful towards her. Always, nothing will change that. Nothing. I don't know. I'm sleepy, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm sleepy. But in any event, let me keep it going. So, like I said, you run down on the sisters. Hey, sisters, girls, can you assist? What's going on? If they say no, you try to address Mama Love directly. Hi. Hey, whatever way you can do it. Facebook, I don't know. Once you see that those things are not an option, then you get an elder in your family and you say, hey, can you address Miss So and So for me? Because I'm feeling a little tension and I have to do some business with her this upcoming week or weekend, and I just don't want that tension to remain. I'm not trying to have an issue with an older woman. Alrighty, so once you do these things and you let her know, if there is nothing that can be done after you try to put as many measures as you can in place, then you let it go and you let God handle it. Because what can you do? You done your best, you said your best, you try. And also to let her know, I don't have an issue. You're older than me. I don't have an issue with you. It's just something took place between me and your daughters, and we're no longer seeing eye to eye. That's okay. That's okay. I just don't want to be disrespected because I'm not disrespectful. Alrighty, so I hope that helps, because like I said, when I had the situation, I was friends with one of the daughters. So I was able to be like, hey, what's up with your mom? As opposed to having to get my elders involved or having to address the woman myself. And my friend was able to take care of it, right? So God is good with that. But in any event, this is unfamiliar territory for me. What I will say is if you need help prepping to do any of the things that I share with you, come get your Operation Hill 100 Heart session. You know, come get your session. Let's get you prepped up. Let's get you rolling. Because if you have to see this woman and you have to engage her because of business, you want to make sure that you're doing it properly and respectfully. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Drop your commentary down in the comment section about this dear DJ, and let's hear some of your feedback for the young lady. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys and enjoy your day.